guys, welcome back here for another beach clean adventure, as always. I wanted to do a sort of what I would call average day beach clean because I realized, I've been waiting more and more for like nice weather days. And of course, nice weather days are, you know, not always how life goes, right? Um, and so as such, I thought I'd come out today because it's kind of about as average of a weather day as it can get. It's a little bit overcast. Now, actually, it's gotten more cloudy. It's supposed to rain later. It's a little bit breezy. It's a little bit cooler, around 50 degrees. So all elements of going out and beach cleaning that you sometimes look for. And if they get worse, it winds up being not such a great time beach cleaning, right? So I thought this is a perfect example of some of these factors that you really want to consider when you're planning a beach clean. Because if you don't, it can wind up being a pretty not so fun time. And I've had friends who have come out or done their own beach cleans, and they tell me it winds up going awfully because of these exact reasons where, they plan to go out. They say like, oh yeah, whatever. They don't really consider the weather, and it winds up being too windy and too cold, and whatever. And so they kind of, it sours them on the experience, and they wind up hating going out and beach cleaning. And it's like, well, obviously that's not what you want to happen, right? It looks a little bit brighter outside. That's just because of the lighting. It's actually, like I said, pretty overcast. Um, and yeah, this very well may be what I call a beach clean fail. And what I mean by that is, if you look, you can't really see probably on camera, but it's a little bit breezy. But breeziness is always sort of, what would I say? It's sort of amplified when you get down to the beach, usually. Even leaving my house, which is not far inland, there was like no breeze at all, right? So any sort of breeze can oftentimes not seem like it's a lot, but once you get down to the beach, it is. And this is for various reasons. I mean, obviously, that sort of makes sense, right? If you have nothing in the way to block the wind, it's going to be coming off the water stronger. And conversely, I've had days where the forecast says it's going to be windy, and it winds up like not being much because the wind's coming from the land, and it's has stuff blocking its way. So it's really sort of sometimes hard to judge, like, is the wind going to be a factor? And again, if you haven't gone out beach cleaning on a windy day, then you don't know how frustrating it can be sometimes, just because the wind in your face is really distracting. It can sometimes almost like blind you in some ways, and just trying to pick stuff up, it flutters away. There's lots of elements to beach cleaning in the wind that are not so much fun. And my point being is that, I said in the last video how like I noticed that it's been getting windier over the past like year or two, and I thought maybe I was just going insane. Well, I know I'm going insane, but I thought I was going insane, more insane faster. And it turns out I did some research, and like, no, the world is getting windier in general, whatever that means. So I need to research that more. But again, if you go to like a regular 10-day forecast now, it will say like, even our 10-day forecast or 2-week forecast, whatever it was, there's not one day where the winds are under 10 miles per hour. And that starts to get into the range where it gets a little bit uncomfortable beach cleaning. So my point being that, you might check the forecast and it says, 10, 15 mile per hour winds, what's the big deal? And you look outside by you, and there's no wind, like when I left my house, but you get down to the water and it's a totally different story. So just some factors to consider, and there's things that you can do. There's certain types of like sheltered harbors and bays where you can clean in, where again, there are landscape features that block the wind. So that's something we'll probably talk about in a future video, but I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about, where you might see in the forecast, yeah, only 10, 12 mile per hour winds. I look outside, it's not windy at all. Now watch what happens when we walk down to the water here. And I think I'm going to be taking a few, clips of just some pretty windy conditions. I can almost guarantee it. And again, sometimes it's worse than others. Sometimes it's fine and you can still clean. But the point being that like waiting for a perfect beach clean day isn't always going to happen, especially if, your schedule is obviously packed and you can only beach clean on the weekends and stuff like that. So you kind of have to make the most of it and think about these factors in terms of like, how do you mitigate it? Well, maybe you don't go to a wide open beach to beach clean if it's going to be a little windier. You look to your local harbor or something like that, or do a roadside clean, which is something we'll cover, a little bit later in another video. But anyways, that's a long-winded way of, oh God, I can't believe I said that. of just explaining some of these factors that, again, you might not initially think too much about, but they can make a big difference. And preparation is also, everything. So it's a little bit cooler, and again, it gets even more cool with the clouds coming in with the wind. So normally the other day I wore a bathing suit and t-shirt and cleaned, and it was hot. Even though the conditions weren't much different, it was enough to really make a difference. Whereas today I have my jacket with me, and I have my jeans. That's one tip I would recommend: have beach clean like clothes, especially like a pair of jeans that I dedicate to beach cleaning. It has more holes in it than I'm comfortable with wearing in public, so they are my dedicated beach clean jeans now, and I just use them for that. Throw them in the wash when you're done beach cleaning, and they live to beach clean another day. So yeah, in terms of gear, there's not much different that I would prepare. On a cloudy, windy day, obviously you want to make sure that there's not going to be any rain. But all my other gear is pretty standard. If you've seen any of my other videos, trash picker. Obviously, in the times we're in now, it's a little dicey with the stay-at-home orders and quarantine type situations in different places. So you always have to check those guidelines. But I have my mask, which I don't think I'll need, but I have that. I have gloves. I have everything else I need. So let's head down and see how it is, see what we can find, and I'll show you some of the things I find. So enjoy the montage. I'll meet you down there. I know it's probably difficult to hear me even over a light breeze like this. As you can see, the bag kind of blowing in the breeze. So yeah, I'm just going to walk around for a bit. Luckily, it's not quite at that point where it's unmanageable to do some cleaning and pick up some stuff. I already see plenty, so it shouldn't take too long. And then I'll see you back at the car, and we'll go through some of the treasures that we find together. All right, that was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's funny, on my way walking down, it's about half a mile walk. Guy coming up said it's beautiful down there, and I asked him, is it windy? And he was like, no, it's not bad, about 10 miles per hour. I was like, okay, that's about the border of what I want to deal with. But as you could see, it really wasn't too bad. There were some gusts coming through that, again, that's where it gets a little dicey and starts spinning your bag, or I've even had at times knock stuff out of my bag, or my entire bag spills over. So you learn over time how to like grip the bag in a way that you can still fit stuff in, but at the same time, stuff doesn't blow out. But, again, little tricks like that can help. Another thing I do oftentimes is I'll even put in like a rock in the bottom of the bag when I start, so that it's just not flipping all over the place. Because especially if you're not getting big pieces initially, like you're picking up wrappers and lighter stuff, the bag might flip entirely inside out if you have a breeze, even just 10 miles per hour, like you could see. So, little things like that you learn along the way. But I wanted to just very briefly, because I don't want to take up too much time here because there's limited parking. It's not bad right now, but people have been coming in and out. But I just wanted to show you guys a few of the treasures that we found today. Starting with, of course, some rope or pieces of rope, which are quite common. I find this all the time, and I believe it's like a plasticky type fiber. If you can, yeah, you can see. So these are always good to pick up. These tangle a lot in like coastal, reeds and just undergrowth and whatever, seaweed and that type of stuff. So it's good to pluck that stuff out. Of course, bubble wrap, which raises the question, what is bubble wrap doing at your local beach? And the answer is it's not doing anything good there. It's washing up from other places. Um, and that's something that I've been more and more trying to relate to people, that, a lot of this, coastal waste, it's coming from other places. It's not people going to the beach and dumping garbage, such as bubble wrap. So, and it was good. I actually ran into a couple of different beach cleaners down there. Again, it's really great to see that, people are just going about their day and picking up stuff as they see it. And they said that they've been cleaning there for a while because it really wasn't too bad down there. At least it wasn't as bad as oh, there's some deer over there. Huh. It wasn't as bad as it's been in the past, as it was last summer. So that's really good to see, because again, in the winter there's still, or it's spring now, but there's still oftentimes trash there because it's washing up from other places, right? Um, so that's good to see that other people are cleaning up. And again, they even said, they were like, yeah, it's been better since other people have been cleaning up. So that's great. But again, I think they're realizing that it's not just people leaving stuff there in the summer. It's stuff that's running down from, in this case where I live, the hills or the cliffs, um, running, tipped over garbage cans, just storm drains, that sort of stuff, all runs into the water, and then it washes up with the tide. And that's why every high tide that comes in, you get more fresh stuff from all sorts of places, right? It doesn't have to be from even your own local community. It can come from hundreds or thousands of miles away sometimes. So that's why you might clean a beach one week, and then the next week you come back, boom, full of trash again. So we got bubble wrap. What else do we have here? Of course, oh, potted planter thing. These are good to pick up because you can actually recycle these oftentimes if there's a recycle number on the bottom of them. This one, I can't read the number right now, but yeah, who's growing plants at the beach? Nobody. It's winding up there through other means. So I usually have a recyclables bag and a trash bag. Today, again, there wasn't much. Maybe I got like 3 or 4 pounds there. But again, that's still 3 or 4 pounds. I mean, imagine trying to lose 3 or 4 pounds of weight. That's a big accomplishment, right? So even picking up just 3 or 4 pounds of trash, that's certainly something. But today there wasn't that many recyclables, so I just kind of put it all in one bag, sort through it later, maybe when I get home, and toss the recyclables with the recycling. A couple other things I just wanted to show you. I met a new friend actually at the beach. I'm very excited to introduce him. He seems like a great guy, and I think he's going to really help us moving forward. And that, of course, is our friend here. Can't really hold him with these gloves, but yeah, there you go. Our friend here, Army Pete, I call him. Again, he might have been left here by a kid, might have washed down, into the into the water here. But there he is. Plastic doesn't belong there, right? So pick up toys like that too. And I find a lot of toys like that as well. So, and finally, something that it might be too soon to make a joke like this, but the irony is not lost upon me, and that is, of course, finding a Corona bottle. Go figure. Such are the times. So I thought that was ironic. Probably shouldn't hold this too much. So I'm going to put that back down there in the bag. Usually I don't pick up a whole lot of glass because that doesn't freak me out as much as the plastic. I think the plastic is far worse, but anything that you can pick up and recycle, you want to, obviously, as well. So yeah, so those were just a few of the treasures that we found today. Hopefully we're going to keep doing beach cleans regardless of the weather, because again, I think it's good to show like what happens when you beach clean in different conditions, or try to. So there may be some interesting, weird, like rainy weather beach cleans coming up, soon down the road. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted. In addition to, different locations too, like harbor cleans and roadside cleans I still want to do. I haven't had a chance yet, but again, it's been tricky with the whole coronavirus situation. Same thing here. I didn't know this park was open till last week. And again, you have to take all precautions, which I'll link in the description as well, and take things on a case-by-case and day-by-day basis. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you guys today. Thanks again for joining me at the beach. Again, you check out some of my other videos. There's lots of other specific scenarios. And like I said, we're going to keep going through some more scenarios moving forward. So check out some of those other videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, because again, I'm going to try to do one a week. And again, that will cause many different beach cleaning conditions to arise for me to show you, because it's not always the best of weather. And if you only have certain times, like I said earlier, to beach clean, like the weekends, well, it might not be the best of weather, but I can show you sort of how to prepare and then when to sort of maybe, not go for it on certain days. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments as well. And if you want to see anything else, of course, I'm open to suggestions, as well as anything that I've said that you have comments or suggestions on. Please do share. I got some really nice comments on the last video, so I'm always happy to hear what you guys have to say. So yeah, that's all for now. Stay safe out there, guys. Be healthy. It's great to see some people out here, even though we were yelling through masks across 10, 15 yards for safety reasons. It's good to see people out and cleaning, and I think they felt the same way. So yeah, best wishes to all you guys, and hopefully soon, even with masks and yelling across many long yards, I will see you soon at the beach.